Oh, blessed day, everybody. Hope you're all having a real crystallizing time, bearing witness to divine potentials unfolding, activating, and all that is occurring right now. Just wanted to take a moment to share a little bit about just taking pulse of the collective and the collective embodied activators and co-creators on the planet right now, as bearing witness to some unique shifts that are taking place that are creating spaces within us, within our beings, and spaces within the earth, and spaces within the collective structures of human consciousness for new ways, new threads, new activations, new alignments for us to really step into greater levels of service, greater levels of embodiment, greater levels of compassion. We're at this really beautiful crux point where it's like we're getting ready for the launch here. We've got we're all being tested and challenged, if you will, so that we can use those challenges, use these different tests as opportunities to help us to really clarify, what we're going to have in our toolkit or our medicine basket, if you will. Okay, so it's like each one of these new shifts and challenges and opportunities. For some of you, it might be getting you to drop into deeper levels of like a grace, acceptance, and trust. In the divine flow and divine timing. And the capacity to be able to really let go and listen to the movements that are taking place, so that more grace can flow, for you, to you, and through you, as well. And then some of you too, it might be like working with certain emotions that are coming up that might be something that can support you to help others to move through as you deepen your capacity to work with these energies and emotions. Right, so like drawing on the different skill sets that you may have already had in the past, that this time may be calling you towards right now. So being able to like reactivate those, illuminate those different aspects of your life. Maybe it's different tools, different practices, different ways of being. Some of you may be bringing some things back full circle that you haven't touched in on for years, because these are tools and I would say like anchor points that are going to serve you to step into this next layer of what the divine plan is like unfolding us into. So that's kind of, and also too, a lot of us are getting moved around. I'm bearing witness to quite a number of beings who it's kind of like the tectonic plates of our collective field, our collective, families, of light beings around the world are kind of shifting a little bit, and so there's different sort of like geysers that are popping up here and there that are getting us to shift and move locations to really be like a set and make some groundwork for this next flow, this next like launch, if you will. It's like the Great Spirit is like getting ready to make a really epic motion, and we're all getting settled into our alignments here. It's kind of like we got our our cosmic divine destiny ship. We're getting in, we're like checking the gauges, we're like taking note, taking stock of like what we need to take with us, and making sure that we've got everything primed just right. So our offerings are coming online on a deeper level. Deeper clarity with our offerings is really happening for a lot of us right now. As well, a lot of people are drawing more clear boundaries as far as where their energy may have been given away before. You know, a lot of people are really saying, yeah, no, no more. You know, really changing that dynamic up so that you can have more energy to serve where you're really meant to serve. So there might be, you know, a time of like some people might be experiencing a rejection at this time, or things that are leading kind of like feeling might be feeling like rejection, but it's actually just um, it's kind of like that are closing so that other doors can open right now. Doors that are more true and aligned to who your soul is right now, actually, at this time, and also to where you are going in your natural sphere of evolution. So, this is a really important time to like recall, like, okay, what's my intention, you know, over this, like, maybe since like the winter solstice, you know, going into the springtime, like where was I like wanting to see myself lined up to be, you know, energetically. It could be geographically, you know, maybe you had a move planned or something like that. And it's really like listening into what has been the guiding force and pulse that got me to this point, that's actually taking me where I'm going right now. So, and just bearing witness to that shift that's taking place in our collective being, in our collective consciousness here, say like our great soul family, if you will. And so the next part of it is that there's a deeper degree of networking that's taking place right now. And it's kind of like if you were to envision the mycelial web underneath the forest floor. And it's kind of, you know, there's different cells and networks and hubs that are now communicating, right? So once maybe it's like this one community and different members of the community were like flowing in and out with each other and communicating and sort of activating these kind of new systems into place, these new layers of structures that are going to support and uphold different levels of consciousness, that are going to support and uphold different methods of exchange of energy and things like that. And then also now it's like these communities are communicating with other communities. So you got this hub over here that's now connected to this hub over here, that's connected to this hub over here, over to here. And so there's this rapid fire that is really getting ready to take place. Some different groups, it's like already kind of launching in a big way. And then there's other groups who are really like getting their communal foundations set up so that once the great motion is set into play, we can really hold court with and be present for the new energies that are going to come in to support us, to fulfill this divine plan that we've you know, been praying into being, and that has already been sort of like laid out for us, you know. And it's just a matter of like really like finding what it is that is most true to our spirit, that's most true to our authentic voice, that is in greatest alignment to what brings us a sense of fulfillment on a soul level. So it's you know, because some people, you know, may have like judgments about what it is they're being called to do right now, you know. And some of you may be called more into like a deeper aspect of shadow work, a deeper aspect of supporting others to really like heal and clear deep trauma. And then maybe like, oh, like, well, I want to live in my joy, and you know, this stuff is kind of heavy, da da da. And it's like, that is a great service that you are doing, that is fueling the capacity for the collective to step into higher and higher states of being. And it's not even so much that we're leaving old states of being, it's actually that we're integrating the higher states of being into the bodies and into the subconscious of the collective, right? We're going into Pisces now, so it's like we have this great collective unconscious, and moving from that Aquarian, you know, it's kind of like the downloads that are coming into this, like, okay, the great mystic, you know, the great mystic waters. And so the tether point for our awareness as we're surfing these mystic waters is, why am I here on the planet right now? What are my intentions? What do I want to bear witness to over the course of this next month, this next 2 months, these next 6 months, 12 months, 3, 5, 7, 20 years, you know? because we're getting ready to launch on a bit of a larger arc. And so if we can take a moment to take stock and allow the, and this is where we get to the altar of awareness here. It's that as we take stock with what our core root intention is, our core divine intention for being embodied on the planet right now, we can take stock of that, and we can bear witness to that as the centerpiece of the altar of our life. And so we can take a look around at all the things that are going on in our life right now and recognize that they're all reflecting that back to us. They're all helping us with that that prayer underneath our prayer, if you will. And so too, we can take a look at each of these different aspects of our lives, maybe the people who are coming closer to our orbit, or the people who are leaving our orbit, that are reflecting to us different ways that we can maybe refine the way that we're living about this inner intention, this inner prayer that we came here incarnate on this planet to live. And so at the same time, because this is the centerpiece of the altar, then as we are receiving reflections from the different aspects of our lives, the different people, we're gaining greater information as well as to how to live that prayer. So it's a matter of like we said, right now, people are moving. A lot of people are moving location. They're moving their home base. A lot of people are. I know that there's a lot of like relationships that have had ended, and that are kind of like being resurged in a new way, between like colleagues or like friends, families, things like that. And so too, there's also this great sort of bridging that's taking place between different roads and different schools of thought as well. So within this collective pulse, we're understanding how the altar of our awareness, right? So we have the present of what it is we're here to do. So we're seeing, okay, the bridges that are being built between different schools of awareness, different schools of thought, different roads, if you will, different life paths. There's different tools that each of these paths bring to the center fire. And so as we bear witness to the weavings that are taking place, if we can pay attention to the subtleties, we'll notice what of those tools are already a part of the path that we've been walking that might come from another path. Okay. And so this is kind of like a big picture, kind of more generalization, because there's a wider scope of beings that are going to be watching this. So I just want to kind of like allow that spaciousness, for who it is may pick up on the frequencies that are coming through right now. And the biggest part of it is to pay attention, and it's that simple aspect of remembering to return to the present moment, so that we can draw from what is being presented to us that's here to help us. So keep paying attention. Allow compassion to reside in our bodies. Allow compassion to fully reside and anchor into our bodies all the way down to the tips of our toes, to the base of our feet. Because that is going to create the spaciousness within our minds and within our hearts for us to be clear about the choices and changes that we're making as the ball speeds up. Actually it will help to slow things down, as it seems like the world might be spinning a little bit faster as the frequency is rising and things are clicking into place more rapidly and manifesting in alignment with our intention for being here, aligning with our current prayer. So as we hold that spacious compassion, we can really like clearly see, oh, okay, watch that. Okay, now that's clicking with that. Perfect. Okay, this is where that was supposed to go. Okay, I was waiting on that, but I didn't know what that was about or why. So that attention and compassion, those two pieces together are really going to spark something beautiful for us here. And I just want to leave it at that and just allow, what's already moving through to be integrated in a good way. Don't want to ramble on and preach on too much, but just wanted to speak a little bit to what's being present and what's been presented as of late, as far as the movements of energy and where we're going. And the last piece that I'll probably touch on, that's kind of opening into a larger discussion that I will be making some videos about soon, is returning to core virtue. And this has to do with these communities that we're building, these systems that we're building, these new structures and foundations that we're laying for this next wave of new iteration of our sort of divine destiny, is really returning to the core virtues. So returning to what it is, those simple root words and vibrations that lay the foundation for a simple, beautiful, healthy way of living. So this can be vulnerability, this can be love, this can be respect, this can be compassion, this can be sincere listening. These different virtues or values, if you will, are ones to really check in with and pay attention to as we are witnessing a more rapid unfoldment of this plan, weaving us all together. And it's going to be a really great compass point to help us to see the beings who we're in greatest alignment with as we are magnetizing those into our fields to align with, to fulfill our mission here as we're kind of doing those things together. And also, for those of you hermits out there, this is also how you find those beings who are going to receive what it is that you have to share. So you may not be jumping into a collective, but it may be such that you have some deeper gifts and wisdom to offer, and you get nourished by those who are receiving and receptive to your offerings. So when you find a community or a hub of individuals who you get to plug into and share with, who are really receptive to the medicine you have to share, as you look for them, your core virtues. What are your core virtues? And allow those beings to resonate and reflect and be magnetized to you. Allow yourself to be magnetized to the hubs of beings who are in alignment with those virtues. So that's the last piece. There we go. Wonderful. Well, until next time, this is Luis. I'll say Luis with the Golden Phoenix, and wishing you all a really beautiful, graceful day. So we're in the middle of the winter here in Southern Oregon. There's a little bit of snow trickling around, and just hope that you all are staying present with what's most true for you, being compassionate with yourself and those around you. Many blessings to you. Thank you. Ahu.